Namaste, Namaskaram, Vanakkam, Namo Namaha, Jai Ganesha. Please visit our website at classicalyoga.org, and there is a donate button if you'd like to help us out. Today's podcast, The Guru as the Bus Driver. You may also want to review our podcast on The Guru as the Garbage Man. So, welcome aboard the Hindu Yoga Bus. Destination? Samadhi, Moksha, Kaivalya, Atmadarshana. Take your seat. Enjoy the ride. And remember, you have chosen this bus. You could have chosen another. Relevant to the different religions of the world. Let's make an acronym out of BUS. B-U-S. Be you, if you will. Be you or yourself. In other words, know who you are. Know what you want. Know what are your goals and know how to get there. On the Hindu bus, we follow the Hindu yoga, religious, spiritual, scientific, philosophical lifestyle of Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga, Gyan Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Mantra Yoga, Japa Yoga, Nada Yoga, Natha Yoga, Kundalini Yoga. And as the bus driver, the Guru is responsible for your safety, your instruction, so that someday you too may be able to drive your own personal bus and perhaps a bus that can help others too to reach their destination. And you know what it takes to become a bus driver? Charter bus driver, for example? Well, first of all, you have to have at least a high school education. You have to then go for your commercial license, which you begin as a provisional license. You have to spend 6 months driving with a certified commercial driver. And then you take the test for your CDL, your commercial driver's license. And then you have to undergo a total physical exam, including an eye exam, hearing exam. And you have to have a full drug test, full background check. And then prior to all of this, you have to have several years of driving large vehicles. Wow. You know what? And a clean driving record, obviously. No license suspensions at all. Very rigid qualifications to become a bus driver. And here's something very interesting. In as little as 200 hours, without any of this, one can become a professional, certified yoga teacher. Hired in hospitals and schools, teaching children. We're truly living in a time of total insanity. I mean, obviously people don't even know now whether they're a male or a female, or they can just choose whichever one they want to be. Woke? I don't think so. What does it take to teach any of the specific religions of the world? Well, first and foremost, one has to be a member of that religion. One may be born into it, and then they obviously go through various teaching and ceremonies, initiations. Or if one was not formally introduced into any religion, they can join a religion of their choice, but it would take lengthy study, commitment. So here we have people who are becoming so-called yoga teachers, which obviously has to be completely divorced from religion, and specifically the Hindu religion. When people become certified, that means that the public can trust them. Obviously, people certainly can make mistakes, but at least with a certification, they're in charge of taking care of other people. So these certifications must be lengthy and rigid, with some basic standards. Clearly, when we get on a bus, we want that bus driver to know exactly what they're doing, and they have a great responsibility for the lives of all of their passengers. So in the phony yoga movement of today, and remember the Sanskrit, Tamil, Hindu word yoga, yogam, actually has absolutely nothing to do with the physical body at all. It's about uncovering the inner spirit, which Hindus call the Atmana. This is a deeply, deeply religious process. Now, there is one aspect of the Hindu Yoga Dharma called Hatha Yoga. And these are devotional postures that were never ever meant to be on open display, never turned into some kind of a crass physical exercise or a quasi-spirituality. So while no one would trust a bus driver who was just some kid off the street that maybe just got their license, who would trust a doctor who took a 6-week course? Do you know it takes 1,500 hours to become a dog groomer? To sit for one's barber's license? It takes years to become a plumber, a master plumber, contractor. It takes at least 2 years of working at McDonald's before one can go into management training. And yet here again we're taking something which is supposed to be so profound and making it so sacrilegious, actually, so profane, and totally distorting the Hindu yogas. And what's even worse is that far few Hindus speak up or say anything at all, and even some of them are capitulating. So when it comes to be yourself or a bus, if you don't like that, well, change that. Ask yourself, are you an honorable person? Are you an honest person? Or do you simply fall in with the latest fad, the latest trend, and simply appropriate from others? Just stop and pause for a moment and think that all of the religions of the world only came into being because of innumerable dedicated individuals that completely devoted their whole lives to these various religious paths that we have today. Stealing from them, extrapolating out yoga, for example, from the Hindus, mindfulness from Buddhism, which actually comes from Hinduism to begin with, is just the mark of the arrogant egotist, the elitist, the colonial mindset that's still with us. So it's way past time to wake up to this total denigration of the sacred Hindu yoga, religious, spiritual, scientific, philosophical lifestyle. For all those people into today's so-called yoga, if you're not willing to admit what it is, Hindu Dharma, just get out of it. Go teach your stretching and relaxation classes, for that's generally what you're doing. Or if you're truly interested, then take a step back. Find a Hindu organization, do some studies on your own, and get fully immersed in the Hindu yoga Dharma, fully become a Hindu, and then maybe a decade or two later, become a teacher. This would be the honest and ethical thing to do. Or just choose to be a superficial yoga star, if you will. Have your glitzy website. Have your picture all over Facebook, Instagram. Be totally deluded and yet not even know you're deluded. As a great mystic from Sri Lanka, Yoga Swami said, the blind and the blind in a blind dance shuffle. In this case, the yoga teachers are blind, the students are blind, the practice is blind. Awake, arise, and be honorable and wise. Remember, wisdom is the ability to discern or recognize difference. Exercise sound judgment, the ability to make wise decisions. Think, and critically think. The need to distinguish between rational and irrational beliefs through logic and a thorough testing of the claims made. Don't be a pawn to the latest fad. Don't be a pawn to your own ego. Stand up and be a mature, compassionate, honest human being.